Hey guys, welcome back to Through the Screen. I'm Emily.
I'm Erika.
I'm Charlotte.
We hope you've been enjoying our episodes so far, liking, commenting, and sharing with your friends. If you missed any of them, head on over to our channel and watch, and if you're not already, be sure to subscribe while you're there. This week, we will be discussing a very important animal and environmental issue, so we hope you'll follow us once again as we join together via Skype to bring you conversations through the screen.
This episode we'll be discussing World Orangutan Day and specifically how palm oil has threatened this and other species. We will also be bringing you a heartwarming story about a baby orangutan that was rescued after losing her home, testing a blemish remover that uses just one unexpected ingredient, and finally sharing our thoughts on this week's episode of Pretty Little Liars. First up, World Orangutan Day and palm oil.
This week, in honor of World Orangutan Day, which was celebrated on August 19th, we wanted to talk a little bit about this particular primate, as well as some of the threats to their habitat, including deforestation to create palm oil. Orangutans are said to be one of the most intelligent species of primates, using sophisticated tools and creating deep social bonds. Unfortunately, orangutans are also extremely endangered. About a century ago, an estimated 230,000 orangutans were found living in the wild across Southeast Asia from China to Indonesia. Today, both species are critically endangered. The Bornean orangutan down more than 50% to between 45,000 and 69,000, and the Sumatran orangutan down to about 7,500. On top of an already low reproductive rate, there are several threats facing orangutans in the wild today. These include wildfires, poaching, the illegal pet trade, habitat loss for industrial and mining purposes, and deforestation for things like soy, coffee, cocoa, and specifically palm oil. So Charlotte is going to talk a little bit about what palm oil is and why its demand is creating a threat to orangutans and other forest-dwelling species. And then Erika will let you know how you can help solve this growing issue.
So palm oil is an edible vegetable oil derived from the fruit of oil palm trees. These palm trees are grown across the region of the equator, but mostly in Indonesia and Malaysia. It's long been used in cosmetics, but is now all the rage in snack foods due to it being trans fat-free and healthier than the shortening it replaces. In order to keep up with the large quantities of oil, farmers across Southeast Asia are clearing biodiversity-rich tropical rainforests. In its place goes a massive palm plantation. Orangutans, which live in trees and thrive in rainforest climates, depend on these tropical havens to survive. As Emily already said, many species have seen dramatic decline in their population numbers. Not only is it a threat to the species and mankind, eventually as a whole, it is greatly impacting the planet's atmosphere, even being blamed for driving the world into early climate change. Not only are these farmers eliminating species from the planet, it is also contributing to the greater releases of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere with every tree that it takes down. It is by far the largest cause of deforestation in Southeast Asia, if not the world. The industry itself employs hundreds of thousands of people around the world, and it's estimated that 570,000 people and produces export up to the equivalent of 22 billion Australian dollars each year. Finally, before Erika begins to explain what it is we can do to help, I leave you with the sad and staggering truth. If we continue this way, many zoologists at the Pagnatton Zoo believe that orangutans will be extinct in the wild within the next 6 years and will only be found in reserves.
So as I was researching on this topic, I found a really interesting article that basically breaks it down into 3 different sections. What can you do? First, as a consumer, you always have the final say. as to what you allow in your life. So you can actually help reduce your contribution to deforestation just by choosing to live your life a little differently. So there was this 28-day palm oil challenge. It's there to help you live a more holistically sustainable life. The program includes all the brands that are deforestation-free, do-it-yourself food and product recipes, as well as an additional resources. Over 1,500 have already taken part in the challenge. It's simple. It's split throughout 4 key areas of your home: the fridge, pantry, bathroom, and laundry. The program will help you to live a more natural and ethical lifestyle. The second thing that you can do is use your voice. The voice is the powerful weapon. Every voice matters and counts. Don't ever estimate what your voice can do. You can sign multiple petitions, write letters, show up to protests. The third thing that you can do is lend a helping hand. You can volunteer, adopt, and donate. When I say adopt, I mean you can be the helping hand in giving the orangutans a rescue or rehabilitation home. And also I found that there are over 20 food companies that are a huge consumer of palm oil. Starbucks, Pepsi, Campbell's Soup, Krispy Kreme included. So those are just some of them. So we'll link all the petitions down below, and we do encourage you to sign the petitions and take part in the 28-day palm oil challenge, which I will be signing myself up for as well. This week's heartwarming story is about an orangutan named Rahayu. She had lost her home, family, and eyesight all while still at a young age. She arrived at the International Animal Rescue Center based in Indonesia. She was found by locals close to a palm oil company was located. Rahayu had fallen from a tree that had been being cut down, all while being abandoned by the mother that ran away in fear. Rescuers knew that she had been out there for an extended time because her skin was soft, and normally it would be hard. She was dehydrated, suffering from a high fever, as well as could not see. Rahayu had an exam, and after an exam it was showing signs of cerebral malaria, which causes blindness as well as deafness. She was given the medication that she needed and improved drastically. Rahayu has fully recovered, eyesight and all. She is now in school that will teach her the skills she will need when she returns back to the forest. Rescuers say that she loves to play and is extremely independent, and it seems as though the cerebral malaria left no effect on the body. Normally there would be after effects, especially with climbing, but she is good to go. So if you guys enjoyed this week's heartwarming story like we did, we'll link that down below for you to read for yourself, and even click share so friends and family can see as well.
So this week on Pretty Little Liars, we saw some crazy turn of events, and it was finally revealed that Noel Kahn did have a part in the previous storyline with CC Drake, more than we originally thought. He was in the dollhouse, and he was basically helping Charlotte carry out her plan, it so seems. We also saw some couple events happen. One thing we learned in this episode was that Nicole was not one of the hostages, and Ezra is coming home. So what does that mean? And we also found out that Jason and Arya kind of have like a past that was a lot more than we knew about. So we saw some crazy turns of events there, and we finally found out what Hannah had in store for Noel, which was a little stupid, if you ask me. Anyway, so what did you guys think of this week's episode?
So, yeah, this episode was pretty intense. I was really shocked to see that Noel was in the dollhouse. That was just like really twisted in my mind, and the fact that he was making Spencer think that she had hurt a girl. It's just like, why would you even want to partake in something like that that's so twisted and sick? So he was putting fake blood on her, and when she woke up, she was like, I killed someone, did I hurt a girl? And that's crazy. It's just like...
We also learned that the cabin that Noel had, that was also where Hannah was kept. We found that out too because they tracked that. address, and that was the address that came up.
And obviously,
that's kind of scary.
Are just like, Hannah's done. Like, Hannah was feisty tonight, like, telling the girls that she went out with Lucas and didn't even actually show up with Lucas and was at this place to meet Noel and had everything with her and was like, you killed Sarah Harvey, and then hitting him with the bat. So, like,
yeah, that was intense.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going to happen. But I'm a little scared because we all know it's not good, whatever does happen. So.
Yeah. She wasn't thinking at all.
But she's Hannah. She never thinks. That's the thing with Hannah. She never thinks. Ever.
Well, we even know that.
That's part of... I feel like that's a lot of the reason why they end up in these types of situations.
Exactly. Because even when she was with Caleb and they were at the storage unit and they thought that Mona's body was in a barrel, she wasn't thinking in that scene either. I was like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to fix this, and I have all these like tactics and we'll get away from the cops, but she just doesn't think.
I don't know. I mean, I know, Charlotte, you said that you would be disappointed if AD was like one of the, I mean, I know it's looking like Noel right now, but you said you would be disappointed if it turned out to be one of the girls, but I think it would actually be interesting if it comes out that Hannah's not really as dumb as she seems, and that, you know, she's really behind more than we think.
But I feel like every week they point it towards a new liar. You know what I mean? And like it's legit every week. It's pointed at a new one. Like last week it was Spencer, and now this week it's Hannah. Like I feel like this. Like it's just too obvious for it to be one of them. Just like you feel it's too obvious for it to be Noel.
Yeah.
But then again, like Erika pointed out while we were watching it, it was obvious that it was Cece, and none of us kind of like took it seriously, you know. So
I'm done with this show. They're just jerking around way too much, and especially the preview really kind of bothered us because it very blatantly shows that Jenna is involved in some way since she's holding a gun, and you know, so I feel like they spoil too much, they jerk us in too many different directions. It's just, I don't know, it's just a little bit too much at this point for me.
And like, is there 2 episodes left?
1. It's just the finale.
Just 1, okay.
No.
They can't, I feel like we're getting too many storylines, and I have a feeling that it's not going to all be answered by the end of season 7, because she has so many different lines going on right now that there's so many questions that are still left unanswered. Like, who killed Jessica? We still don't know.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not going to be answered by the half-season finale, but maybe the whole finale.
But no, like, it took Marlene 6 seasons to reveal that Cece was the original A, so I feel like, I mean, that was the big A or whatever, supposedly. So I feel like this whole AD storyline with all, like, it's, like, different dynamics with the Mary Drake story and, you know, the Archer Dunhill dude that's, you know, 6 feet underground, like, where did he come from? And, you know, I feel like the whole just dynamic of the show, I agree with Erika, I just don't feel like every question that we've been waiting for to be answered since season 1 is going to be answered by the end of the season. I just don't know how that's going to be possible.
It's not possible. There's too many questions that we've received and not enough answers.
I also feel like it's really hard to just keep track of all the stories. Like, I'm so confused now, and it's gotten to the point where I had to start rewatching Pretty Little Liars from season 1 to now, and probably on season 6. Full doc, and I have everything typed out because my brain cannot wrap around every single detail. So the reason why I'm rewatching everything is because now I'm so confused because there's so much going on that I had to go back and be like, okay, this story, this story, this story. I had to lay it all out because there's too much. Like, there's way too much.
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of running us in circles, really.
Yeah.
That's their ultimate goal, is to try to confuse us, I feel. But, I mean, I at least hope that some of the relationships are going to be repaired, because we do see that there's going to be a moment between Toby and Spencer in the finale. So, I mean, at least that's good. And I felt bad for Sabrina during this week's episode. She kept trying to, connect with Emily, and she was just, her mind was always on something else, and so I felt bad. And I really want Paige to go away because I can't stand Paige. But
I feel like Paige is going to tie into something bad. I feel like she really is eventually. I don't like the way that she looks at Emily. I mean, we all know she still loves Emily. That's obvious. But I feel like she's like coming at her, and I don't know, like the way she was looking at Sabrina at the end. I don't know, is she going like to go after Sabrina, like so that Emily breaks up with her so that she can try and move in, like I feel like it's going to be like some type of dynamic like that. I don't know. But do I want to see her with Paige? Obviously not. I'm an Emerson fan. I prefer her with Allison. I don't know why. I always have from day one. I really think that their dynamic is something that's been an underlying tone in the show, and they've touched briefly on it, but they haven't really delved into it, and I can't wait for that to happen, and who knows if we'll even get the chance to see it. So one of the other things that we saw this week that was really, really interesting was that the girls found a flash drive in Noel Kahn's cabin that basically contained all these videos from inside the dollhouse, and all the videos, well, we assume all the videos are linked to Noel because the first video that Spencer looks at, Noel is in. And he's basically, like, setting her up to think that she did something bad or she killed somebody or something like that in the dollhouse, which is the scene that we have seen previously a few seasons ago when they were in the dollhouse and they were doing that storyline. And we just kind of, all things right now are pointing that AD is Noel. They found out some information about AD, which was that there is a judge that was involved in the case, and the judge is really the only link that they have, and the judge is who else but Noel Kahn's dad. So it just seems kind of scary, and all kind of like coming together that, Noel would be Mary Drake's second son, because we all know that there is something bad in Noel. There always has been. He's always been kind of a dark character, a mysterious character.
Yeah, but he's been gone. That's what bothers me, is that they bring someone back and then they make them super sketchy. Like,
well, that's just like what they do with Cece. She was there, and then she disappeared, and then she came back. Me. I actually wonder if Noel Kahn was the one to push Charlotte off the bell tower.
Maybe.
But
I mean, if he is,
if that's
really her brother, that's really messed up.
But then again, but you also have that dynamic too, where there was two people, after them at the beginning, and it was one of them was trying to find out who killed Charlotte,
right,
and the other was trying to cover it up.
Right.
So, which one is Noel? Is Noel the one trying to cover it up, or is he the one trying to unmask who did kill Charlotte?
True. Yeah, see, that makes it even more complicated that we need to find out who two people are, and we need to find out who killed Jessica, and we need to find out, like, just all of these things.
Who killed Jessica, who killed, there's another person that we don't know how they died too, Wilden, right? Do we know who killed Wilden?
Ash.
Yes, Cece did,
Cece
that's
did.
right. I feel like there's something else, though, that we're missing.
Probably, but
who killed Sarah?
Do we know who killed Maya?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lyndon. Oh, yeah, Lyndon Chin.
Oh, that's right. I still want Maya to come back.
We don't know who killed Sarah, though.
Well,
again, all roads point to Noel,
right.
But we don't know.
He's like, you're going to end up like Sarah. I mean, supposedly that was a hint, but...
And I was so mad about that whole entire Hannah situation tonight. They build that storyline up, and then she goes and she meets him. She brings the phone with her. She shows him that she has the phone, and of course, what does he do? He takes it.
I know. Like, why would you just blatantly show that you have everything?
And then at
and
the
of
end
course,
of the
the flash drive. goes
she hits
away.
him over the head with a bat. And it's like, whoa. You know?
It's very frustrating. And of course, the flash drive gets taken too. That was not a surprise either. And of course, we only got to see one video from it. Not surprised.
I'm just really interested to see how Marlene, I mean, she's creative. She's awesome. But, like, how she's gonna, like, wrap it all up. Because there's way too much open right now.
Yep. And I hope we get some good answers in this half-season finale.
Yeah.
We
need them.
They're long overdue, and they're definitely needed. And of course, we've kind of sort of figured out that we never saw this one scene where Allison was writing on the chalkboard that we saw at the very beginning of the season.
Right.
And we're kind of all curious as to see how that's going to tie in, and is Noel Khan the one that's after her? You know, who's coming after her? And
but see, that scene doesn't make sense anymore though, because every time someone calls her Mrs. Rollins, she's like, no, De Laurentiis. So why would she be writing Mrs. Rollins?
Yeah, I know.
That's so weird. It's like they just completely forgot about that whole scene.
So, yeah, if you guys have seen this scene and we are missing it somehow, please let us know, because we don't remember seeing it.
And there's 3 of us, so
That's a problem if we missed it.
So, as always, we encourage you guys to follow along with us as we journey through this crazy journey that is Pretty Little Liars. Next week is the half-season finale of season 7, so we are, of course, excited to see what happens. But it also means that we will have a few weeks of free of a show to watch. So we'll probably have some surprises in store for you then. So join us next week for the season finale, and of course we are so excited to let you guys know what we think of what happens.
This week, we're excited to finally return to our Product of the Week section with something that was just too interesting to pass up. We tested an acne treatment that uses one simple yet very unexpected ingredient, Pepto Bismol. Yes, the pink medicine with the catchy commercial jingle. Pepto Bismol, when applied to the face for 20 minutes and then rinsed off, is said to shrink pores, soften skin, and reduce redness. It contains a chemical, which I will not even try to pronounce, that is similar to salicylic acid, a common ingredient in most acne medication, as well as aspirin, which is also used by some to reduce inflammation. The results are said to be minimal, but after reading so much about this strange remedy, we just had to try it for ourselves. So what did you guys think of this supposed acne treatment?
Absolutely.
Their face says it all.
Horrible.
Well, I wouldn't go that
I was
far.
the one that found it when I was on Facebook, and it was interesting, and I was like, guys! And Emily was kind of like, is this real? So I tried it yesterday after I got out of the bath. I should have did it like before I went in the bath, but I didn't. And I realized after I did it, my Pepto-Bismol was 7 months expired. So that was great. But when I was applying it, I kind of just used like a cotton sponge thing for your nails. And I just mostly focused on my nose. Because that's what I saw the girl doing in the video, so I was focusing on my nose, but then I did my whole face, and my face tingled, and it hardened like a face mask would, which I'm like, okay, well maybe this isn't going to be too bad. It wasn't so pink, it kind of just blended in with my skin, I guess because I'm so sunburned, and I waited about 20 minutes, and I wiped it off, and I've got some nice new pores on my face now because I broke out. So I'm not a fan of the product. That was my experience.
I basically had a similar experience as Erika. So I did the product yesterday after she showed it to us, and after I left it on for 20 minutes, and the instant I took it off, I immediately saw like my skin was irritated. It had like I have pimples on my like chin as well, and like I didn't like the overall feeling of it in general. I don't like when things harden on my skin. I've never liked that. Ever since I was a little kid, like I don't know, I've just never liked like that feeling, you know? Like I hate when I have dry skin because it's, you know, this like it's like a sandpaper feeling almost. I just hate it. So I try and avoid it at all costs. And it seems like every single type of face mask we have ever done on the show, I've always broken out. And I think it's because face masks are for people with oily skin, and I don't have oily skin. My skin is dry to begin with. So I feel like it kind of defeats the purpose every time I do it. You know what I mean? Because it's just drying my skin out more. And I feel like that's what causes the irritation, the breaking out, the redness, like, and I just feel like that's personally me.
My experience wasn't quite as bad. I liked the texture of it. I like that it's kind of thick, and I don't know, it just felt good, like, putting it on. And like Erika said, it kind of immediately started to harden like a face mask, which I kind of like. And it did tingle a little bit, and like by the time the 20 minutes was up, my face was like completely tight. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to take this off. but yeah, I mean, my face was really, really soft after I washed it off. I do think it also made me break out, although my skin is not clear, so it's kind of hard for me to tell. But I do think I gained some new blemishes. But I actually kind of did like it though, because I don't know, it wasn't an unpleasant experience for me, and it made my skin really soft, but I wouldn't do it again because I do think it made me break out. But I mean, it was something to try. Obviously, it wasn't super effective for us, but we hope you guys found this remedy as interesting as we did. And we will, of course, link the article explaining all of its benefits down below. However, we must caution all of you that this method of treating acne is not recommended for everyday use, and the medicine is absorbed into the bloodstream, though not as much as would be if ingested. So just be mindful of those things. Overall, if you care to test out this remedy, leave us a comment down below letting us know what you thought, as well as other suggestions for products we can test out, because we'd love to bring this segment back for you all, hopefully with more success.
This week's song of the week is Get Right by Jimmy Eat World. The song just came out August 21st, 2016. The band was formed in 1993 in Mesa, Arizona. The song's video has a great message, so what did you guys think of this week's pick?
So when Charlotte told me or suggested that we do a song by Jimmy Eat World, I was like, oh, so we're doing a throwback. And she's like, no, they have a new song. So I was really excited because I really liked Jimmy Eat World. It's probably been like, I don't know, 5 or even more.
It's been 3 years since they released an album.
Oh, really? I think I was a fan even before that, though. But
yeah,
it's been a while.
I've been a fan since probably like 2002. So.
Yeah. So it's been a while since I heard their music, so I was really excited. And as soon as the song started, I really liked it. To me personally, it felt a little bit more intense and more rock than I remember their songs to be. But again, it's been a long time. But I really enjoy the video, and I think the song has a great message because the literal meaning of it is, you know, wanting to be somewhere else and like just trying to get away from whatever it may be, a problem or whatever. But if you really listen to the words, it also feels like it kind of has a revolutionary kind of feel to it, because he says things like, now is for the now, so get loud, and maybe if I stand up straight, one small thing I can change. So lyrics like that I really enjoy because I feel like it kind of relates to our show and has like a positive message. And also in the video, it shows like logs and things on trucks, so it also kind of goes with our topic this week, I feel like, and just kind of going from a simpler time to like this industrial era. And I feel like it could almost be like a revolution anthem almost. But I really enjoy the song, and it keeps getting stuck in my head, so I definitely like this week's pick.
So for me, I heard of Jimmy Eat World about 14 years ago. I found this song on one of my favorite shows, and I just had to like know who sang it and who, what it was about. So I found it naturally. I don't even remember how I found it. I think I downloaded it on like Napster. If you want to go back that far, yeah. So yeah, I found it and I was like instantly fell in love with this song, and I kind of followed the band a little bit, but I noticed that they fell off track, a few years ago, and I was so excited when I saw that they were trending on Facebook that I had to know, what was behind it, and this song. So naturally, when I found it, I instantly fell in love with it. Mostly because when I found it, I found it with a video, so I watched both at the same time, kind of like listening to the lyrics and the video at the same time. So for me, it kind of definitely brings a different message than most people would originally get right as off the bat of hearing the song, because I feel like it's more about creating a change, a bigger, more global change than just maybe personally your own personal issues that are going on in your own daily life. Mm-hmm. And I really always enjoy Jimmy Eat World's lyrics and messages, and they always seem to always put a story into every song that they create, which I really, really love and I really appreciate. So I was so excited about this song. And yep.
So, the minute Charlotte sent the song over, I went on to YouTube to check it out, but it wasn't available in my country. So I wasn't able to listen to it actually with the video at first because Charlotte had sent a recording of just the song for me to listen to. And I couldn't understand the lyrics. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, what am I hearing right now? So obviously we watched the video all together, and I saw the lyrics on the screen, which put a lot of the pieces together. Like, okay, that's what they said. But I'm still not really a fan of the song. But I will back up the message, of course. There is a good, powerful message to it. Emily and Charlotte both touched on that. But it's just too old school for me, I guess, and it's just not my style of music that I enjoy. Yeah.
It's okay to have differences of opinion, so we welcome that on our show.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in listening to Get Right by Jimmy Eat World, we will link everything down below for you to listen to, and we do encourage you to, and leave your thoughts with us.
Okay, guys, that's our show. We hope you've enjoyed this installment of Up to the Screen. If you did, be sure to like down below and also subscribe to the channel. We appreciate any feedback that you may have. We post new videos each week, and we'd love for you all to join us and tell your friends. Next week, we'll be discussing a brand new topic, so you won't want to miss it. Until then, thanks for watching, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!